Let's get more comment now. UDM Leader Bantu Holomisa will join us in just a moment for reaction. Of course, he's had some interest in the Harith partners group, so we'll get to him in just a moment to hear what his thoughts are about this deal in particular. SAA has a new strategic partner just in terms of joining up with government. It has 51% and the government now has 49%, and we are asking you what your thoughts are that government no longer has majority shareholding in a national asset. UDM Leader General Bantu Holomisa, thank you very much for joining us. So let's just backtrack a bit and to give context to why you would be interested. You approached the North Gauteng High Court over Tshepo Mahlwele and his business partners in relation to their PIC funding. Tell us more about the reasons for going to court.
Just remind me, when did I say I'll go to court?
I believe in 2019 that there was an outcome with regards to your questioning this, the relationship, the funding of Tshepo Mahlwele and PIC.
Well, as you are aware, I wrote to President Cyril Ramaphosa asking him to institute a judicial commission of inquiry to investigate the PIC's way of handling or distributing funds. One of the companies which was affected was Harith, General Practitioners Partners. And the findings by party commission did point to a wrongdoing by the Harith. So what is surprising in this deal now is the fact that why the same government would spend money and appoint a commission of inquiry, and the findings of the commission of inquiry were damning against Harith. But today they are rewarding the same company to be in charge of SAA. So, of course, we hear that there is no investigation which has been done. They are still going to do a thorough investigation. What we should be interested in now as South Africans is to know how much is involved in this, who is funding who. Then we will know that is either this so-called Harith company is like a little Bosasa, which was nothing else but a conduit company to channel government funds back to Lutuli House. So there's still a lot of questions which they need to answer. And it doesn't appear that there were people who were invited, who are interested, other black companies. There's too much secrecy in this. We need more information. Hopefully, the relevant portfolio committee in Parliament, which was not briefed, will ask those questions.
Okay. So I'd like to look at Harith. They seem to own some influential media titles in South Africa. What are your thoughts about this latest acquisition and how it positions them? You say that there are questions that still need to be asked. And there's also the fact that we're just speaking to an economist. I don't know if you had the benefit of that. And he was talking about some of the people who are part of Harith and why he thinks it'll work well for them, talking about Gideon Novick. But we also know there's some powerful political players in Harith, namely in the names of Popo Molefe and Jabu Mleketi, from what we're hearing. The combination of all of this, what do you think will be the outcome of where it places them in business circles and, where we're going as a country in the positioning of SAA as a national asset?
I think the first thing which must be done is for the President of the Republic of South Africa and take us into confidence as to how far have the findings of the party commission have been implemented. And also the PIC board has to tell us as to whether they have retrieved the monies which this company had obtained from PIC. They need to explain that so that we have a clearer picture. You cannot find some people wrong in the commission of inquiry and then you still reward them with such a big transaction. Something is not gelling correctly here.
And just for clarity, when you say reward, what do you see as the manifestations of that?
Reward in the sense that the commission of inquiry have fingered them to have done something wrong. So why do you reward those even before those findings have been implemented? So the PIC board and the president and Minister of Finance owes us an explanation.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to us, UDM Leader General Bantu Holomisa, giving us more reaction. It is our question of the day. We're asking you as the viewers, now that government no longer has a major shareholding in a national asset that's the national airline SAA. Government says, of course, this is strategic. They no longer have any more funds to pump into this. And when there is some measure of stability, they are, of course, going to go back and review the deal. How exactly is not certain, but you share your thoughts with us. As you can see, we are available on Twitter and Facebook. Let's hear more from our viewers. Dili Mukhale writes in to say, good evening. It's a liability that is washed off taxpayers' hands, but I wouldn't pop the champagne just yet. It's also an asset that has been depreciated and now sold to the lowest bidder. Saving an airline for 3 billion rand is merely trying to make a brick fly. Let's hope all was legally acquired. So thanks for that, Dili. Interesting. At the back of that interview we've just had with the UDM leader, Sianda Mda, this evening says the government is failing in most things it runs. Corruption has destroyed this major national asset and it continues to eat away many others. Maybe a breath of fresh air is needed. Okay, thank you, Sianda. And to all of you who've written thus far, let's hear from you, Nazim Khruapum, this evening, saying instead of hiring competent leadership, they chose to sell it. This is very worrying because you can't sell your own assets to outsiders. That will be the majority winners. This will also lead to others being sold too. Of course, we did speak to the Deputy Director General in the Department of Public Enterprises, as you heard, that they still maintain the 33% of the non-negotiable golden shares. So they say this is really enough, and that puts them in a strategic position. Sianda Jola saying this was premeditated. We've been warned by Julius Malema on so many occasions and people threw stones at him. This is bad. Eskom is under imminent sale. Soon electricity will be 100 Rand per unit. The president is paying back his funders. Nothing is good about this. SA is a company. Some interesting views from our viewers. Perhaps you'd like to weigh in on this. There's the question. There's the platforms you can find us. Our YouTube station, you can subscribe to that platform, and we're also on SABCnews.com. Our various interviews and features are there, so you can stream live, and of course you can also talk to us via Twitter and Facebook.